My name is Larry Kearns, and I'm not your typical ag startup founder. I'm a 60-year-old architect in Chicago who's interested in using the energy transition to revitalize rural economies. My company TrackerSled created SunFarmor Modules for farmers so they can earn more profit with less risk by using solar power to produce fuel and fertilizer on their farms, carbon-free. By the end of the decade, a 3.5-acre solar farm, constructed in weeks, not months, will produce all the power needed to make the fuel and fertilizer to operate a 1,000-acre grain farm in the Corn Belt. That's a 30-year cure for inflation. When variable costs like diesel and nitrogen prices spike with fossil fuels, as they have doubled or quadrupled in the past year, farmers have little agency to react. Now, imagine you fixed your costs 30 years ago. How much profit would you be making on $7 corn? Today's solar tech isn't DIY friendly. What producer has the time to build a solar farm that requires surveys, pile driving, specialized engineering and approvals, and requires months to construct by hand? In contrast, crews assemble SunFarmor modules at the roadside from prefabricated pieces before towing them to the field. SunFarmor modules look like trestle bridges with a roof of bifacial PV panels and a solar reflector as a roadway. Like its predecessor, the SunFarmor module never takes farmland out of production. In solar-friendly states like Illinois, farmers can make up to 50% returns on the solar farm alone, selling surplus energy back to their electric co-op below retail prices. But by the end of the decade, farmers can use that power to make carbon-free fuel and nitrogen fertilizer on their farms. So in this case, it's not just the solar farm that makes more money, it's your entire farm. And that's not counting the price premiums you'll earn on your carbon-free commodities to satisfy the demand from grain majors and food companies who've made 2030 commitments to reduce their carbon footprints. After 30 years, farmers can hand down the SunFarmor modules to their children, who can repower them, lowering their costs even further. TrackerSled's best prospects farm in the Corn Belt, where over 150,000 farmers work over 1,000 acres, and power, fuel, and fertilizer comprise over 1/3 of their variable non-land costs. Here, farmers use over 90% of the country's ammonia fertilizer in areas where electric co-ops pay over 5.5 cents per kilowatt hour. 31% are in solar advantage states, and 1/3 already choose profit over yield with non-traditional practices. TrackerSled believes clean energy subsidies will jumpstart adoption, and market-driven demand will sustain it, flipping the switch on carbon to give farming families more control over their destiny.